In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Google Forms and Google Sheets to create progress monitoring documents for data collection for IEPs. So the first thing you're going to do is go to your Google account and sign into your Google Drive. And then you're going to come up to the top left and click New, go down to More, and then over to Forms. And that's going to create a new form for you. And you can customize this as much as you want. So I'm just going to show you a kind of a basic for oral reading fluency, because that's a very common one for IEP goals. So the first thing you're going to do is give your form a title. So I'm going to call this one Oral Reading Fluency Progress Monitoring. And then you're going to start adding your questions. So the first question I'm going to put is student name. And Google automatically changed that to short answer for me, so it will give a little box where I can type in the student's name. Then I'm going to go over to the right and I'm going to click the plus sign to add another question. And this one I'm going to put the date of assessment. And Google automatically changed that to a drop down, like when you click on it, a little calendar will pop up and you can click on the date that the assessment was done. So the date that you collected the data. Then you're going to go click the plus sign again to add another question. And this one is going to be words correct per minute. And Google automatically changed that for me to a short answer, and it's really intuitive, so it also made it so that my answer has to be a number, so I don't have to do anything to change this. And then I'm going to add one more, and this is going to be accuracy. And on this one, I'm going to click over here, and I am going to change this to short answer. So it will give me a box where I can type in my number for my percent accuracy. And then that's pretty much it for setting up the form. If you go up to the top and click on Customize Theme, you can change the color. You can go up here to Header, and they have different categories. So you scroll down, there's some with like books. You could make it look like whatever you wanted. You can color code them, like all your reading forms one color, math forms a different color, however you want to do it. So for this one, I'll just leave it on the book since it's reading. I'm going to click select, and that will change my theme. And then I'm going to X out of that. And that's it for creating the actual form. So now I'm ready to collect data. So to test this out, I'm going to click on preview, which is this little eyeball up here. And this is what it will look like when you actually go to enter your data. So it allows me to type in a student's name. So I'm going to put a fake student's name here. I'm going to say Tom, and we'll say that we took the assessment today. So I'm going to click on this. My little calendar is going to come up. I'm going to click on today's date, and we'll say that Tom read 56 words per minute with 88% accuracy. And then you can click submit. And then if you're entering a bunch at once or calling students over to read one at a time, you can click on submit another response, and it will reopen that form for you so you can start fresh with a different student. Now that's it for setting up the form, and then you can go to, if you click back on the little pencil, it takes you back to the screen where you can edit your form. And then I want to see my data now. So You can also share these with people. So if you click on send, you can email it to someone, or if you click on this box, it will give you a link where you can create a QR code if you want, using that link, so you could scan it with an iPad and be able to collect that data anywhere with the code. If you have, someone else, a Gen Ed teacher you're working with, you could put their email address in there and they can collect the data also. So anyone with the link that you allow to, on the privacy settings to see it, you can share that with them. So after you have some responses, if you go over to this tab where it says responses here and click on that, this is where it breaks down your responses. But if you're doing, if you're making a chart for a progress report, you're going to want to see that in a sheet, like a spreadsheet. So to create a spreadsheet, you're going to come over and click this little create spreadsheet green button, and you're going to make it a new spreadsheet. You can change the title of it here, so I'm going to call it Oral Reading Fluency Progress Monitoring, and you want to create a new sheet, and then click create, and this is going to open a spreadsheet with your data in it. So one thing that I typically do is Google automatically puts them in by the date that they were entered, and I really don't ever need to use this timestamp column. So the first thing I do is go in, right click, and click hide column. So that information is still there, but I don't need it and I don't need to see it. So that hides it for me. Then it shows you your student's name, the date that they took the assessment, their words per minute, and their accuracy. So after a while, your spreadsheet will fill up, and this is what mine looks like, that I've been using all year. So it has tons and tons of data. So I go through and if you're doing progress reports, you're going to want to click on student name, click on this little drop down, and you're going to want to sort the sheet A to Z. So that will group all of each student together instead of putting them in chronological order that they were entered. So now I have all my students, all my data by student. So I go through and let's say I want to make a chart just showing fourth quarter. So I'm going to highlight the date of the assessment and drag that down. I'm going to go over and also highlight words correct per minute and accuracy. I don't need the student's name because it's going to be individualized on each page or for each progress report. So now that this is highlighted, I'm going to come up here and go to insert and go down to chart, and my chart editor is going to pop up. So I'm going to go up to the top of the setup tab, and I like to do a line chart for these. So I'm going to click on line, and then you need to come down and I'll show you. This is what it will look like at first. So it looks like nothing is showing up. You're going to go down and click on this aggregate column C button. And then that's going to show you your dates across the bottom, your words per minute, and then your accuracy line. So then to make it a little bit more clear, I come over to where it says customize and click on that. You're going to go down to series, and where it says apply to all series, you're going to click this drop down and you're going to do line by line. So I'm going to go line 1, and I know that this is my words per minute. I'm going to come down here and click on data labels, and that's going to put the numbers in for me, so how many words per minute the student was reading. Then I'm going to keep scrolling down. I like to click trend line because you can see that even though the scores